Aflac, Dunkin' Donuts, Verizon, WB Mason, and the Lackey Foundations.
Road trip through the heat and humidity of Texas and Baltimore was striking in that the Red Sox won only 2 games. Last year's Anaheim Angels were the best in baseball. This year's Halos are out of the playoff picture, and tonight they'll be attending a welcome home party for Jeff Suppan. Live from Fenway Park, NESN presents Boston Red Sox baseball. Tonight, the Red Sox take on the Anaheim Angels. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. The Red Sox back off the road and happy to be home.
And Jeff Suppan tonight gets to start for the Red Sox. Of course, he started in this organization, a couple of different stops, and now back home with Boston. And I think the offense very happy to be home. They average 7 runs a game here at Fenway Park with a team average of 326. I think these guys have been anxious to get back home for a long time.
They face Anaheim and John Lackey, and it's next on NESN. Nixon headed to the corner. He'll dive and make the catch. Nixon hits it in the air to right field, down the line, up, and it is gone. Sends it to deep center, looking up, it's off the wall. Nixon hits it high and deep to right, and it's gone. Grand slam for Trot Nixon. Nixon will slide and make the catch. A 2-run home run for Trot Nixon. 2 more runs are in, and Nixon's at third. Diving in right is Nixon. He makes the catch. Tickets are still available by calling 877-RED-SOX-9.
So we can get the low financing.
Or the cash allowance.
And the 770 warranty.
Yep.
We should do it.
Yeah. Now grab our best deals, like 0% financing for 60 months, or cash allowances of up to $3,500 on Dodge Caravan, America's best-selling minivan. Plus, get our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Sweet.
The remote control always gets them.
Let us prove we've got the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer today.
Dave, it's Adam Shapiro. I'm on a road trip. You got a couch or something? That's all I need. Wyatt! I'm outside of Phoenix right now. Stay with you? Great. This is Adam Shapiro from first grade. I don't have the headgear anymore. You got a big couch. Perfect. I'm in Lubbock. Uncle Saul. I'm in Cleveland. I could stop by the pharmacy. Guest room. Nice. Oh! Whoa! Bye, guys.
You sure he's your cousin? T-Mobile gives you 1,000 whenever minutes coast to coast. Just $39.99.
Get more.
Society says that your mind isn't hungry enough. They say your arms aren't strong enough. But you are going to prove to them that you can handle the really big stories. The stories that unfold. All right, now show them your strength. Uh-huh. Yeah. Woo! Strong minds. Strong bodies.
The Boston Globe. Your world unfolding daily.
And turn. And folds. And turn.
The dish was on the back part of the roof.
Every time the wind blew, the picture went out. The branches blew right into the signal. We called the dish guy, and he told us that we needed some trees and branches pruned back, and it was going to cost us $400. We started pruning tree branches.
You have to cut down a tree to watch TV.
There it is, my tree of shame. Then, to make a long story short, it still doesn't work. I called Comcast, and I got my digital cable. I'm done with the dish.
Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, by your Boston area Lexus dealers, by Citizens Bank, and by Dunkin' Donuts. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Fenway Park. The Red Sox certainly glad to be home. It is a cloud-covered Fenway as we begin the evening tonight. Some drizzles from time to time so far, some very light rain, but so far nothing significant enough that would delay the start of tonight's game. The managers are exchanging lineups at home plate, and it does appear that we will start on time tonight. Not to say that there is not precipitation expected in the area. The clouds are a little bit threatening, but it does appear that we will start on time. And Jerry, as you mentioned in the open, the Red Sox very happy to be home, a place that they've done very well in this year.
Well, it's amazing, Don, the numbers difference when they are hitting here at Fenway and hitting on the road. I was looking at the stats prior to the ball game. They're averaging just about 7 runs a game here at Fenway and about 5 on the road, and that's quite a difference. A team batting average of 326, and when really you look at most of the numbers per player, to a man, better here at Fenway Park than on the road. So, with that said, yes, they're very happy to be back at Fenway. Clouds, showers, rain, and all.
Well, they had enough rain over the weekend in Baltimore. One thing Grady Little's certainly worried about, not only the American League East and certainly the wild cards situation also with Oakland breathing down their necks, but here's the East first. 3.5 game lead for the Yankees heading into tonight's action. As on the other side in the wild card situation, the Oakland A's is going to be taking on the Detroit Tigers, and you figure they will do well against the Tigers. They're just a half game back of the Red Sox. So as we take a look at the East and the wild card situation, becomes that time of year again to look at both. Well, let's take a look at the visiting Anaheim Angels lineup, brought to you by Dodge. Top of that order is David Eckstein leading off at shortstop. Darren Erstad in center field. Tim Salmon is the DH. Garrett Anderson in left. Scott Spezio at third. Jeff Devannon in right. Adam Kennedy, the second baseman. Benji Molina does the catching. And Rob Quinlan is at first base. He bats ninth.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by a Boston area Lexus dealers. It'll be Bill Miller at third base. Nomar the shortstop. Todd Walker at second. And Kevin Millar at first. Manny returns to left field. Johnny Damon in center. And Trot Nixon in right. Jason Veritek behind the plate. And on the mound at Fenway Park in a Red Sox uniform since the first time in '97 will be Jeff Suppan. There you see the numbers this season with the Pittsburgh Pirates. The 10-7, 3.57 ERA. Had a tremendous month of July for the Pirates. A 5-0 record. Since leaving Boston, he's been with Arizona, Kansas City, and Pittsburgh. He will throw the fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup. And I'm sure a little bit nervous being back at Fenway in this first game in a Red Sox uniform.
Well, the umpiring crew, Jim Joyce has the plate. Dale Scott at first base. Jim Reynolds at second. And Laz Diaz, the umpire, at third.
Let's check tonight's game notes, brought to you by New England Toyota dealers. 15-27 against the East for the Angels. 88 stolen bases, second to Tampa Bay in the American League. And 12 Red Sox hitters have a higher home than road average. Gee, I'm glad they backed me up with a graphic on that. I thought I was speaking out of line earlier, but there it is. There's living proof.
We're available. Tonight's broadcast can be heard in Spanish by using the SAP function on your TV set.
Buenas noches, amigos. Disfruten luego.
Well, David Eckstein to lead it off against Jeff Suppan, and his return here to the Red Sox and to Fenway Park for Suppan up against another former member of the Red Sox organization. David never did play in Boston, but of course drafted by the Red Sox and came up through the system as far as Pawtucket. It has been an off year for Eckstein so far. After what was really an incredible year last year, Suppan starts off the night with strike one. Eckstein was at the top of the world champion Anaheim Angels order a year ago. He's still there, but sitting at just 256 this season. But lately has been hot after just a horrendous first half for him. And he has 3 home runs, 26 RBIs to go along with that 256 batting average. Jeff Suppan returning here to the Red Sox. He has been very hot lately. 5-0 with a 2.45 earned run average in his last 6 starts with the Pittsburgh Pirates, beginning on June 29th. 2-1 is grounded down the first baseline. Millar's there. He'll take it alone. I would imagine this first inning is really, for Jeff to get this out of the way would be huge for him, and to have a successful first.
Yeah, you know, coming over from another club, obviously your first outing in a new uniform, you want to impress the fans, you want to impress your teammates. Suppan obviously much more relaxed than he would have been maybe 5 or 6 years ago. He's got more experience, but still, I mean, it's only normal for a player to be anxious, nervous in this type of situation.
One down. Here's Darren Erstad, a very good center fielder for the Anaheim Angels, who takes strike one from Suppan. Erstad at 256. His numbers down as well. Spent a good chunk of time on the DL. 4 homers and 16 runs batted in. Goes the opposite way to the left, falling fast. Out goes Garciaparra. In comes Manny, and Nomar makes the catch as the two almost collided, and they did get a piece of each other. Nomar's all right there. Goes to grab the shoulder. They did appear to make some contact, Jerry.
They sure did. And Nomar, I don't know if it's neck, shoulder, something, but the little contact that he did have with Manny Ramirez hopefully will not be something serious. Looks like he just caught the glove on top of the shoulder from Manny. Manny's yelling for it, but apparently Nomar couldn't hear him. They were both yelling at the same time, and Garciaparra takes it in front of Ramirez.
Wow, you talk about a disaster in the making right there. Nomar still kind of shaking his head out there at shortstop, trying to get loose. 2 down for Tim Salmon, the DH. Salmon's power numbers are down as well. 14 homers. He does have 53 runs batted in and a .274 batting average. His career at Fenway, a .343 career batting average at Fenway Park. He's done very well here.
He's missed a few games recently. He had some lower back stiffness. They took an MRI, but everything seems to be okay. Salmon in that DH role right now. They've had their share of injuries, haven't they, the Angels?
Oh, boy, have they ever. And it has been right out of the gate this season for them. They had sort of a disappointment in Kevin Apier this season, a guy they relied on heavily last year to the point where they released him. And had to eat a lot of his contract very recently. It happened over the weekend. And right now, coming into this series under 500 as Suppan walks Salmon, and the Angels have their first base runner of the night.
Well, here's a guy coming to the plate now that the baseball world has to know about. For many years, how underrated this guy has gone and unnoticed around baseball, but all you had to do is watch All-Star Weekend or midweek, and you got to get a pretty good idea what kind of player this guy is.
Incredibly underrated, but I think that's over now. I think pretty much everybody knows who he is. 311, 24 homers, 87 runs batted in for Garrett Anderson. He's better on the road this season than he has been at home. He's second in the American League in batting on the road, hitting at .350. And since 1996, he has 1,443 hits. He trails only one player in the major leagues in that category. Derek Jeter has more hits than he's had since '96. 1,473 for Jeter during the same time span. But after Jeter, nobody else has. It has really been a great career, very quiet career for a quiet man, and Garrett Anderson. And it's softly foul outside of third.
And of course, these Angels are familiar with Suppan, of course. They faced him many times when he was a member of the Kansas City Royals.
I forgot that he had been the Royals opening day starter for 3 seasons, 2000, 2001, 2002.
5-3 in his career against Anaheim.
Two down, top of the first. The 1-2 to Anderson. Fouls it straight back to the backstop. Still 1-2.
That fastball at 91 miles an hour. That's the hardest fastball that Jeff Suppan has thrown so far in this ball game. First couple were in the high 80s. Going for the strikeout there, 91. By the way, this Angel team very tough to strike out. Toughest in the American League.
Jeff Suppan last pitched 8 days ago. On July 28th, he fired a complete Game 7 hit shutout in a 3-0 win for the Pirates. This is popped up foul. Back comes Varitek towards the seats, and he runs out of room. He lunged into that first row, and it lands in the second row and out of Varitek's reach.
Yeah, Varitek could only get about a row and a half back. And that was about 2 to 3 rows back. Looks like that wall got up to him in a hurry. He crashes in his stomach and then reaches over but can't quite make the play.
Anderson with a lengthy at bat, 1-2. This is inside that time. A little too high. 2-2. We'll be keeping an eye on the other action. Texas is at New York tonight. Colby Lewis against Roger Clemens. And of course, in the wild card situation, Oakland beginning a series with the Detroit Tigers. Nate Cornejo going tonight for the Tigers. The throw over to first base, and Salmon back in plenty of time.
Gotta wonder if that was a deke there by Veritek. He was standing up out of his crouch, calling for a high fastball, but they also had the pickoff at first base, so maybe he's trying to deke Garrett Anderson, thinking they were going to throw the high fastball. Let's see what they do here.
Makes him think about it, if nothing else.
He wants it down, the curveball. It was a deke.
Well, swing and a miss. They tag him out for good measure. The first strikeout for Jeff Suppan ends the top of the first. No score.
Searching other websites for low fares? Better get comfortable. Just go to Southwest.com for Southwest Airlines $39 to $99 internet specials when you purchase by August 28th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Now this is what you call a luxury box.
At BMW of Peabody, we make sure our certified pre-owned BMWs don't just...
Oh! Oh!
The new owners of our certified pre-owned BMWs actually become quite attached to them. Financing available through BMW Financial Services. BMW of Peabody for your certified pre-owned BMW.
Drinks before lunch?
Water's fine for me.
Water for me too, but with lemon, please.
I'll have a Sam Adams, please.
Make that 2 Sam Adams.
I'll have a Sam also. Me 4.
Nice. Never miss an opportunity to enjoy a tasty Samuel Adams lager, especially when it's on someone else's tab. Samuel Adams, always a good decision.
You taking that for heartburn?
Panel of experts recommended.
More doctors recommend Tums. Dose for dose, Tums Ultra neutralizes more acid than Pepsi Complete's antacid. Nothing's faster. Just ask a real panel of experts.
Back at Fenway, headed to the bottom of the first inning. And Johnny Damon leads it off for the Red Sox against John Lackey.
Lackey 7-10 on the season. This will be his 24th start, a 5.18 ERA. Lackey this year has been giving up more home runs than a year ago. He's given up 19 this season. He only had 10 all of last year with the Angels.
The Angels had given up some home runs this season. He's tied with Ortiz, who has given up 19 home runs this year. And how about Jared Washburn, who has given up 27 home runs today. 2-1 to Damon is chopped towards the first baseman. Quentin lit a tough hop, but he handles it and tags the bag alone for the first out. Let's take a look at the rest of the Red Sox starting lineup tonight, brought to you by Dodge. Bill Miller batting second tonight as he moves up in the order, third base. Nomar at short, Manny in left. David Ortiz, the DH. Kevin Millar at first base, Nixon in right. Todd Walker at second base batting eighth tonight, and Jason Varitek bats ninth. A little different looking lineup for the Red Sox tonight with Bill Miller batting second, and heard he's saying before the game just trying to get Todd Walker, who has been dropped down to the number 8 spot, going again, much like they did with Johnny Damon earlier in the year.
Yeah, scuffle for Walker recently. Of course, Bill Miller very consistent, still second in the league in hitting, 6 points behind Ichiro at this point. And the on-base percentage over 400 for Bill Miller.
He grounds it to first as well. Quinlan again will get there ahead of Bill Miller. For out number 2, he's handled the first 2 outs of the inning.
Now let's look at the rest of the Anaheim defense, brought to you by a Boston area Lexus dealer. Scott Spezio at third base. David Eckstein, the shortstop. Adam Kennedy at second, and Rob Quinlan at first. Garrett Anderson at left. Gold Glover Darren Erstad in center. Jeff DeVannen at right, and Gold Glover Benji Molina behind the plate.
I love that addition to our defense this year.
No question, when you see the gold, those people have either won Gold Gloves last year or in their career.
2 down for Nomar. As he takes strike 1 from John Lackey. Garcia Parra, 316, 18 homers, and 74 runs batted in. Facing 24-year-old John Lackey. Pretty big, 6'6", 235 pounds, John Lackey. He was a second-round pick by the Anaheim Angels in 1999. To third for Spezio from the lip of the grass. A good hard throw to get Garcia Parra. Red Sox go in order. We played 1, no score from Fenway.
Drinks before lunch? Water's fine for me. Water for me too, but with lemon, please.
I'll have a Sam Adams, please.
Make that 2 Sam Adams.
I'll have a Sam also. Me 4.
Nice. Never miss an opportunity to enjoy a tasty Samuel Adams lager, especially when it's on someone else's tab. Samuel Adams, always a good decision.
And now with a late-breaking story, here's Suzanne.
Thanks, Tom. As the volcano continues to erupt, we take you live to correspondent John Ryland, who's at the scene. John, what's the situation?
Suzanne, as you can see behind me, the lava is covering an area of about 2 square miles. It's a bad situation, but I do have good news.
What's that, John?
I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
No matter how great the problems, skill and hard work make the difference. Hamill, Waxler, Allen, and Collins. Personal injury law.
Back at Fenway, no score after 1. Well, H.B. Hood is rooting for the Red Sox and kids throughout New England. Each time the Red Sox strike out an opponent, make a double play, or hit a home run at Fenway, Hood donates $100 to the Hood Home Team Advantage Fund, which in turn benefits children's hospitals all over New England.
Jeff Suppan working into the second inning. He allowed a batter to reach in the first inning as Tim Salmon got on by way of a walk. And that was it. Suppan struck out Garrett Anderson to end the first inning. Here's Scott Spezio to lead it off. The Anaheim third baseman. Spezio hitting at .257, 10 homers and 43 runs batted in. A lot of these totals are a little surprising after seeing what Anaheim was able to accomplish last year. Spezio right now mirrored in a 4 for 34 slump. In the air to right field. Trot Nixon heading back to the track front of the wall. That will carry out of here into the Anaheim bullpen. And Jeff Suppan gives up a home run to begin the second inning. Home run number 11 for Scott Spezio, and the Angels lead it 1-0.
That was a changeup from Jeff Suppan, off-speed pitch, but it stayed up about belt high. There you see the location of the changeup, and Spezio puts it into the Angel bullpen for the 1-0 lead. As Don mentioned, number 11 on the season, his 44th run batted in.
So Anaheim on top 1-0. Jeff DeVannen, the right fielder, stands in and takes strike 1. He's hitting at 310 home runs and 30 runs batted in. You look back over Jeff Suppan's career, there have been some problems with home runs at times. And Anaheim has got a home run off him here tonight in the second inning.
Spezio now, as we mentioned, with 11 home runs, 10 of those as a left-handed hitter.
This one fouled off, and it's 1-2 to Devannon. Mike Scioscia having kind of a tough season this year after what was an incredible year last year. This year has not been as good. A very frustrating year. A lot of injuries for this team. Still a very good record as a manager in his 4th major league season.
And if I'm not mistaken, just recently signed an extension to his contract.
I believe they added 2 more years. Fouled off, 1-2 the count.
I think both he and the general manager got extensions. Of course, this club is under new ownership now. No longer owned by the Disney company.
Will Stoneman, the general manager, also had his contract extended. And for Anaheim, they are 4 games under 500 coming into this series and 14.5 games behind Seattle. Anytime you're under 500, chances are you're not going to be able to battle the top 2, Seattle and Oakland. And of course, Anaheim last year was a wild card winner in that scenario and world champions. Devannon waiting on the 2-2 from Suppan. Inside and a full count. Devannon also has struggled lately. 10 for his last 59 and 169. He's hitting at 342. It's dropped him down to 300. In the air to center field, Johnny Damon. A few steps to his right, makes the catch middle of the cap high for the first out of the inning.
Second baseman, number 2, Adam Kennedy.
So 1 down, and it brings up the second baseman, Adam Kennedy. He's at 265, 8 homers and 30 runs batted in. A career 340 hitter here at Fenway Park. The Angels over the last 14 games have been held to a total of 7 home runs. And he's got 4 of those 7 home runs. So they've not done it with the long ball lately, although they have a home run tonight. It's this one foul, 0-2. Spezio's home run is 11th of the year, and it's put the Angels on top 1-0. 0-2, and the next pitch from Suppan will be the 31st of his outing. He works an inning into 3rd. Last time out for Jeff, he threw a lot of pitches. As you mentioned, he had the complete game last time out. But then again, he's had 8 days off to get ready for this one. Had 121 pitches in that last outing on July 28th. The complete game 7-hit shutout of the St. Louis Cardinals.
And that's a pretty tough team to shut out.
What an offensive team that is.
We had a chance to see that offense earlier in the season.
That one certainly convinced a lot of people of Jeff's abilities. I think that last outing that he had in Pittsburgh, he had been rolling along anyway with the great 5-0 record over his last 6 starts in Pittsburgh. But that one kind of was the exclamation point for a lot of teams that saw his value, and the Red Sox were certainly at the top of that list. In the air to left field. Manny Ramirez heading back, looking up, and that ball is gone. The fan grabbing it didn't look like he reached over, and they ruled it a home run. Adam Kennedy's gone deep for the 9th time this season, and a pair of solo home runs for the Angels here in the 2nd inning, and they lead it 2-0.
That also looked like a changeup that Kennedy hit to the opposite field for the home run. Yeah, that ball working down and away. Of course, Kennedy, a very good low ball hitter, and he lifts that just up on top of the wall for the home run. So 2 home runs in this inning, and it looked like both home runs on the changeup from Suppan.
Laz Diaz, a third base umpire. way down the line to make sure that it got up over that line above the wall, and it did. As he ran all the way down the left field line to make sure, and he made the call. Here's Benji Molina, the catcher. Molina hitting it .211 on the season. Actually, no, it's his brother. Benji's hitting .284. 10 homers and 52 runs batted in. On the ground at third, Bill Miller stepped to his left. And the throw in plenty of time, 2 down.
Yeah, quite a treat prior to the ball game. Huey Lewis and the News singing the national anthem here at Fenway Park. They do a great job with that. I heard him as a player a number of times out in Oakland sing the national anthem.
They're from out there, right?
Yeah, they're from the Bay Area, and they did a terrific job tonight.
It is a different rendition. Very nice. I had not heard it before, but they did a great job before the game, and they're joined down there by ESPN great Chris Berman, who's also in attendance. In fact, Chris threw out the first pitch tonight.
Well, he'd give it the old Louis Tiant to wind up.
And threw a strike. 1-0 is in there for a strike. 1-1. Oh, those are the owner's seats, are they not, down there by the Red Sox dugout where they are enjoying the game tonight?
Yeah, that means they're very, very important.
The VVIP. Swing and a miss. We're going to see the pitch from Chris Berman.
This is where the Tiant imitation stops. The release of the baseball was not quite the same as Louis, but a nice effort, though, by Boomer. He's still talking about it there. How he wanted that ball to run down and away. Instead, he left it out over the plate. Back.
The 1-2. This is away now to Quinlan, and it evens up at 2-2. Jeff Suppan giving up 2 solo home runs here in the second inning. 1 to Spezio, 1 to Kennedy, that has Anaheim on top 2-0. Quinlan at .444, now playing in his 7th game with Anaheim. He's 8 for 18 so far. No homers, no runs batted in. Swing and a miss. Suppan strikes him out. Second K for Suppan, but Anaheim leads it 2-0.
Cold, delicious iced coffee from the coffee experts at Dunkin' Donuts. For a refreshing pick-me-up, it's just the thing.
Introducing the new Nissan Murano for your adventures in on-roading.
McDonald's new Chicken McNuggets are made with all-white meat and are sprinkled with seasonings created by a fine chef. We like to think of it as poulet mignon at McDonald's. Yes, that McDonald's.
The never-ending search for a warm breast of chicken on a great salad just ended. Introducing premium salads with grilled or crispy chicken at McDonald's. Yeah, that.
Right now, the only thing between you and pure happiness is a straw. Introducing the refreshing, thirst-quenching Dunkin' Donuts Lemonade Coolada.
Boston Red Sox baseball in Nesson is brought to you by your New England Toyota dealers, by Bob Stores, by Coors Light, and by Volvo, the official vehicle of the Red Sox. Bottom of the second inning back at Fenway. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy. Anaheim on top 2-0 thanks to solo home runs by Scott Spezio and Adam Kennedy in the second inning off Jeff Suppan. Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz, and Kevin Millar to face John Lackey, who has a lead to work with. And he had .319, 25 homers, and 79 runs batted in.
Manny, one of those guys that struggled on the trip. He's 3 for his last 20. 3 for 7 in his career, though, against Lackey with a couple of home runs.
The Yankees are at home against Texas tonight, and in the bottom of the first inning, New York's on top 3-1. In the air to right field, opposite field, Devannon back shy of the track, camped, and he'll make the catch.
Well, game time is Miller time at Fenway and on Nesson. Stop by a participating Fenway area retailer before game time. You can win free tickets to the game. End up on Nesson in the game time is Miller time Fenway seats.
One away, and it brings up David Ortiz, who's digging in, the DH for the Red Sox. 289, 14 homers, and 56 runs batted in. Yeah, the Yankees with a 3-1 lead over Texas, bottom of the first inning. Matsui's hit a 2-run home run in that game. And the Oakland A's have a 1-0 lead over Detroit in the top of the second inning. Ramon Hernandez with an RBI single as the A's on top.
That's interesting. You read those scores here. We're early, obviously, in our ball game. They're early in theirs, but it is August, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And it's time to start watching that scoreboard.
And for the first time, the wild card standings are starting to pop into the newspapers more and more now. Red Sox beginning the day a half game better than Oakland in the wild card. To first, Quinlan has it, and he beats Ortiz to the bag, 2 down.
Well, Quinlan's been very busy over at first base early in this ball game. Of course, normally we see Spezio at first base and Troy Glass at third, but Glass onto the disabled list. They shift Spezio to third base. And Quinlan getting loose in a hurry in this game over at first.
Glass has missed the last 14 games now. He had an MRI and has a contusion to the right shoulder and some wearing within the joint that has put him on the DL. Pilar skies this one to left center field. Garrett Anderson is there, and he makes the catch for the final out. John Lackey's retired the first 6 Red Sox he's faced. Anaheim on top 2-0.
Searching other websites for low fares? Better get comfortable. Just go to Southwest.com for Southwest Airlines $39 to $99 internet specials when you purchase by August 28th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Whatever happened to the house call? The doctor would show up at the front door and treat the patient right there at home. Who does that anymore? Well, SBC does.
Won't be long.
Only our black bag is a yellow laptop. They may not be doctors, but they do make house calls.
Phone?
I have good news. The customer. That's who we answer to. SBC.
I think that went really well. I think it was great. I love the first 2 sketches. Send them up.
I should get that silver Jaguar.
Is something telling you it's time to get a Jaguar? Presenting the Unleash a Jaguar sales event.
Get an X-Type for $279 a month at your local Jaguar retailer.
Unleash one today.
Boston Red Sox baseball on Nesson is brought to you by your Lincoln Mercury dealers, by LoJack, by Aflac, by Citizens Bank, and by Jeep. Top of the 3rd inning back at Fenway. Anaheim on top 2-0 thanks to solo home runs by Scott Spezio and Adam Kennedy. And as we move to the 3rd, it's the top of the Anaheim Angels order, David Eckstein. He grounded out to first base first time. Shortened up the show bunt. Takes the strike from Suppan. It's 5 for 10 against Jeff Suppan. Since the break, Eckstein has hit at .343. Gives you an idea of how things have gone here in the second half for Eckstein, and still just hitting at .256 on the season overall. Missed some time this year, missing 6 games with a deep bruise and a strain in his right shoulder. As he fouls this one down beyond canvas alley. He joined the Angels in 2001 with him leading off for the Angels. They're 37 games over 500 when David Eckstein is at the top of their order. 1-2 back and under the glove of Todd Walker into center field. By Suppan and Walker finds its way into center and a leadoff base hit for Eckstein. Let's check in with Tom Caron. Tom?
Don, thanks very much. You were discussing it earlier. Huey Lewis in the news. Chris Berman here from ESPN. Huey, how long have you guys known each other?
Too long. No, probably almost 20 years. We're just figuring that out. Maybe 20 years.
You've done so much in your career, but is it still fun to come to a ballpark, be able to sing the anthem, and sit in the owner's seat in the front row?
What's not to like? Yeah, it's a ball. And Boomer gives me all the background. So I got my own announcer. I'm right here at the ballpark. It's perfect.
It's pretty good. Whose big album is sports. I mean, you know that he loves baseball. All the guys do.
No, but when Jerry Remy was giving the critique of the El Tiante impersonation, said you had it down until the release. Then it was all sort of downhill.
Well, he was right. Thanks, Jerry. I mean, I did think I took just long enough, 25 seconds, till I came to the plate. But all I saw was the screen. I thought Len Barker. That's all I could think. And the ball's going up there, and I'm going to fall on my butt. So you know what? Lob it in. Give it a Wakefield strike and get out of there.
That tells me we'll be seeing that again tonight on a certain network.
I haven't called yet, but, you know, they have the technology, Tom.
Guys, enjoy the game.
Thank you.
Right back to you.
He's got a great memory. Len Barker, of course, let one go here at Fenway when he was at Cleveland, up on top of the screen. I think Evans was the hitter at the time. Everybody was just like in awe where that pitch was going.
Aaron Erstad batting with Eckstein at first. And the pitch will miss. To catch it on the fly all the way to the screen.
Yeah, he somehow stumbled as he was delivering the pitch, and the pitch just sailed, not even close to anybody, but up on the back of the screen. Just a little bit high.
Aaron Erstad popped out to the shortstop his first time up as he takes the strike. 2-1. Erstad recently played in his 1,000th career game Saturday night for the Angels. He's the 8th player in Angels history to reach that plateau. Going bunted, dropping it down foul on the third base line. 2-2.
Remember, we told you at the top of the show that these Angels second in the American League in steals to Tampa Bay. Eckstein with 14 on the season.
He's second to his double play partner Adam Kennedy, who has 15 on the year. As Eckstein is second on the Anaheim Angels. Kennedy first in stolen bases. 2-2. There goes Eckstein, and Erstad gets hit. So a hit batsman here. The Angels have the first 2 on here in the top half of the third inning.
Trying to go inside on Darren Erstad. Looks like it gets him right off the elbow. So some trouble here in the third inning. First 2 runners off, and you got, of course, Salmon and Anderson due up. Red Sox making a roster move today as Jeremy Giambi was put on the DL. Bad shoulder. And David McCarty picked up from the Oakland organization. Been around with a couple of different teams. Came up with the Twins. Right-handed hitter, first baseman, outfielder. Pretty good defensive first baseman, and also done a pretty good job hitting lefties throughout his major league career.
He has seen limited time this year with the Oakland Athletics. And the Red Sox adding him to the roster. And the injury for Jeremy Giambi. Apparently Jeremy having an MRI on that shoulder as well. As Tim Salmon takes strike one. McCarty is a Stanford grad who has bounced around a little bit with a few teams, known as a very good defensive first baseman.
Minnesota, San Francisco, Seattle, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, and most recently Oakland.
Suppan giving up a leadoff base hit to David Eckstein to begin the inning. Darren Erstad walked. The first two on here for the Angels in the top of the third. Anaheim already on top 2-0. Ball's behind 2-1. Oakland and Detroit are now tied 1-1. Tigers have come back to tie that game up. And it evens up at 2-2 now to Tim Salmon. Jeff Suppan overall was 10-7 with a 3.57 earned run average, 21 starts for the Pirates. Before the trade, he led the Pittsburgh staff in wins, starts, innings pitched, the time of the deal. Salmon fouls off another, still 2-2.
Had a chance before the game to see Rex Hudler, and of course he has the World Championship ring that the Angels got last season.
Wow,
pretty nice ring.
That is a pretty incredible ring.
Yeah.
There's Rex on the left, who always holds the baseball. We actually stole it from him last year in Anaheim for a moment. Threw them all out of whack. Steve Physiak alongside. The 2-2 grounded outside at third and foul.
Yeah, that ring, they got a few diamonds on that thing.
Yes. Always got the baseball going. He calls Tim Salmon Kingfish. The Hudman has nicknames, I guess, for everybody. And the Kingfish is batting here with 2 on, nobody out. Opposite field, base hit into right field for Salmon. Eckstein will be stopped at third as Nixon in short right guns it in. And Baratek had to go up the line to get it. But the bases are now loaded for Anaheim with nobody out here in the top of the third inning.
Eckstein at second base had to pause to make sure that ball was not caught on the line and get doubled up. And then, of course, the wise move of holding him at third base. Nobody out. Not going to take any chances on getting that first guy thrown out at home plate. Opposite field for Tim Salmon. Salmon has had great success in his career against Jeff Suppan. Baratek looked like he was a hockey goalie coming way out of the net to make the catch on that throw from Trot Nixon.
Dave Wallace out there for the first time tonight.
You get nervous when you see those hockey goalies come way out of the net like
yes.
that? You're a hockey guy. You do do you? I like it.
You're very nervous.
I like it.
You like it when they come out?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I do. They're challenging them.
You're not concerned about someone deking them, then all of a sudden being behind them and scoring?
Cutting down the angle.
Just cutting down the angle and coming out all the way.
I get nervous when they go behind them. They kind of stick handle behind the net. I don't like that.
Gretzky was very, very good at working behind the net. Who? Gretzky. Remember Wayne Gretzky?
Yeah, but he wasn't a goalie.
Oh, you're talking about the goaltender going back. I thought you meant for different players going back there.
No,
you're goalie. The goalie going back there. Yeah, that, yeah, because they get pinned up back down there. Anderson fouls it off the left side. Suppan struck out Anderson in the first inning. One of 2 strikeouts tonight for Suppan. Down and in, and it evens up at 1-1. Jeff Suppan, of course, a former second-round draft choice of the Red Sox back in 1993. On the ground to first, Millard goes to second for one. The throw back to first with Suppan covering, not in time, and Eckstein scores from third. The third Anaheim run. The Angels lead it 3-0.
Millard figured playing back there he could turn the 3-6-1 double play, but not with Anderson going down the line. Red Sox were trying to get 2 outs, a double play, and give up 1 run. They end up just getting the force out at second base. That throw a little high to Nomar. By the time he regroups, just a little bit late to Suppan covering first base.
Here's Scott Spiezio, homered his first time up, his 11th home run of the year. Hitting at just .238 with runners in scoring position this season.
That's interesting, Don. We see guys who are way back in the box. I'll tell you, Spiezio's way up at the front of the box. I don't see many guys do that anymore.
Sometimes on those slow breaking ball type pitchers you sometimes see it, but that's the only time I can think of.
That paid off for him the first time up. He got that changeup and hit the home run. But that back foot about even with the back of the plate, and his front foot well out in front of home plate.
I wonder if he'll take that kind of tact against Pedro Martinez tomorrow night.
We'll check it out.
The 0-1. Lays off, 1-1 the count. Yeah, Pedro gets the start here tomorrow night in game 2 of the series. He'll be matched up against Aaron Seeley, who is 6-8 for the Anaheim Angels this season, a 4.88 earned run average. Inside, 2-1 now to Spiezio. And with Suppan getting deep into the pitch count already, Ramiro Mendoza up in the bullpen. Long relief man for the Red Sox currently in the Boston bullpen. On the ground crank foul off the top of the Red Sox dugout, back down the line again. Spiezio has started now 12 of the last 14 games in the absence of Troy Glaus. Spiezio grounds it under the glove of Todd Walker, off it and into center field. From third comes Darren Erstad, and the Anaheim Angels lead it 4-0. Spiezio banging in another run.
Ball looked like it hit off the mound and then up the middle. The dive by Walker, he can't quite get to it to knock it down, and Spiezio picks up his second RBI of the night. There's the bounce off the mound, the dive by Walker, he can't get to it. Another run for the Angels.
So still just 1 out in the inning, and Spiezio has driven in another run. He homered in the second inning. Now he's single to drive in a run. Runners at the corners, Jeff Devannon, right fielder, lined out to center field his first time up. The Yankees enjoy a 5-1 lead over Texas now at the end of 2. Derek Jeter's hit a 2-run home run. And Jeter with 3 RBIs on the night for the Yankees, who are on top 5-1.
Now this begins a very interesting 3 weeks for the Red Sox. Of course, you have Anaheim in here, then you have Baltimore over the weekend with a day-night doubleheader, and then you start with the Oakland-Seattle deal, which goes on for a couple of weeks. So this is a very critical stretch for the Red Sox.
And coming off a tough trip in which they won the first game of the trip and the last game of the trip, but nothing in between against Texas and Baltimore on this last road trip. 1-1. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. 1-2. And Anaheim under 500, as we mentioned earlier. They're 14.5 games off the pace. You see what the Seattle Mariners have done, 68-43 at the top. In Oakland, very much in the wild card picture, 64-47 and in second place. But Red Sox have not yet played either of those two teams. We'll get a healthy diet of the Mariners and A's coming up here in the near future. Suppan up to 70 pitches in his outing. 42 have been for strikes.
Now, this is not exactly what he was thinking about all day long before this start. This has been a struggle right from the beginning.
First goes the 2-2. This is for a ball. No throw from Veritek. As Spezio steals second base. That was a foul ball. He was ready to go back to first, but they told him.
There's the great jump by Spezio. Plus, he gets the benefit of the curveball and not even a throw to second base by Jason Veritek. Red Sox now will pull the infield in. Already down by 4.
Payoff pitch to left field. Ramirez moving in, and he'll make the catch in the backhand. Tagging is Garrett Anderson trying to score, and he is in. Picks away from Veritek as Anaheim has collected their 5th run of the night.
They should have, excuse me, Don, they should have peeled down at third base just in case. It was very close with Garrett Anderson. He knows that ball's not deep, and sometimes you try to get a quick jump down there. The Red Sox should appeal it just to see if they get the benefit of maybe a call. They see Anderson going back. Manny going to his right to make the catch. It's not deep at all. Anderson tagging at third. The throw's off the mark.
So it's 5-0 Angels now, as they scored 2 in the second and 3 so far here in the third.
I guess they're not going to appeal. Looked like Nomar was calling for the ball down at third base. Sometimes what an infielder does, he'll look at the umpire, and the umpire say, no, he tagged up, and then he'll go back to his position, not even bother with the appeal. But Garcia-Parra was standing over third base for a while. Looks like he wanted that appeal play, and then Blas Diaz must have told him, no, he was okay.
Adam Kennedy homered his last time up, just over the wall and left, as he fouls this one off himself. 0-2. 344 for Kennedy at Fenway Park in his career. The home run tonight was the second of his career here at Fenway. And Kennedy, too, has also done very well since the break, hitting at .339 since the All-Star break. Foul over by the Anaheim dugout.
Larry Lucchino with the play.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Reaching over the Angel dugout.
Wow. The best catch I've seen by a CEO or a president recently. The 0-2 swung on and missed. Kennedy strikes out to end the inning, but Angels come up with 3 more at the end of 2.5. 5-0 Angels.
Some people don't realize how many nonstop flights Southwest offers, so we created this simple color-coded map to help. Baltimore to L.A. is red. Phoenix to Raleigh-Durham, blue. Chicago to Seattle, yellow. L.A. to Austin, canary yellow. Orlando to Albuquerque, teal. Las Vegas to Houston, aquamarine. Buffalo to Phoenix, beige umber. San Jose to Baltimore, pistachio. Oakland to Chicago, sea green. Albany to Orlando, puce. Tampa to St. Louis, pinkish. New Orleans to San Diego, kinda green.
You are now free to move about the country.
Introducing the new Nissan Murano for your adventures in on-roading.
Excuse me, that ATM just ate my card, and I have to be on a plane in an hour.
Let me see what I can do. must have gotten a little jam.
Okay.
Your car should be coming right out.
Oh, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Have a nice trip.
I'd like to make a transfer, please. Hello?
You leaving?
Yeah.
Introducing Wrangler Rubicon, the mightiest G4x4 ever.
Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park as we head to the last half of the third inning. Bottom third. The Red Sox order. Trot Nixon, Todd Walker, and Jason Varitek. Face John Lackey, who's faced the minimum through the first 2 innings. And retired all 6 Red Sox that he has faced so far. Nixon at .320, 21 homers and 67 runs batted in. Beginning the day 5th in the American League with his .320 batting average. Nixon sitting on 99 in terms of his career home runs. It is 99th in Baltimore on Sunday. Manny Ramirez also at 99 home runs with the Red Sox, of course, for Manny. He's hit many others with the Cleveland Indians. Evans now 3-1 to Nixon. He leads it off. Then Walker and Varitek expected here in the bottom of the third. Nixon rattles this into right field for a base hit. Down towards the corner. Nixon thinking too as Devanna digs it out, and the throw not in time. First hit of the night for the Red Sox, a double for Trot Nixon.
Lackey falls behind Nixon 3-1. This ball looked like it might have been upstairs for ball 4, but Nixon gets on top of it and hits the line drive right down that right field line. So the Red Sox, who lead the American League in doubles, add 1 more to their total, now 279 on the season.
So Nixon at second base to begin the inning. Here's Todd Walker, who bats from the number 8 spot in the Red Sox order. Walker, of course, doing most of his work this season as the number 2 hitter. Hitting at .280 now, 9 homers and 58 runs batted in. He's 1 for his last 13 over the last 3 games. And really over the last 26 games, he just 192 as he fouls it back. So Grady Little hoping to get him jump started, drops him down to the number 8 spot in the order. We've seen this before from Grady in efforts to get people started. Johnny Damon, of course, dropped from the top spot down to 8th and 9th on occasion. Down low, gets away. Nixon's going to try it. Molina's throw is not in time.
Benji Molina, one of the best defensive catches in all of baseball, as that ball bounced away from him just far enough so Nixon can advance the base. Tries to backhand that breaking ball in the dirt. And a good read at second base by Trot Nixon. You can see that pretty well from second base. That ball bounces off toward the Red Sox on-deck circle. You know you can make you move.
Walker fouls it off the left side. 2-2 to Todd. And the numbers on Benji Molina, leading all American League catchers. On the ground towards Kennedy at second base. This will score Nixon as Walker is thrown out. Trot comes in the back door with the first Boston run. Anaheim on top 5-1.
And the second annual WEEI Jimmy Fund Radiothon will be held August 22nd at Fenway Park. 3 special live events will accompany an 18-hour broadcast, which begins at 6 a.m. A panel discussion with the owners of the Red Sox, Patriots, Bruins, and Celtics. A lunch with current Red Sox players, and a cocktail party with Boston sports legends John Havlicek, John Hanna, and Greg Petrovsky. For more information, call 877-738-1234 or log on to WEEI.com.
One down for Jason Varitek, who does the catching. And he takes a strike. Varitek checks in at .290 on the season, 18 home runs and 65 runs batted in. Swing and a miss from Varitek.
John Lackey is yet to beat the Red Sox. He is 0-2 in his career against Boston, 0-1 this season.
Swing and a miss. Gets away briefly from Molina, who has to throw Varitek out, and he does. But out goes 2-3 on the first strikeout of the night for John Lackey.
Good curveball ahead of Varitek in the count. He'll just kind of bounce the curveball up to home plate, and Jason Varitek can't stay off it. Lackey strikeout high 9. He did that in his last outing against the New York Yankees.
Here's Johnny Damon, who grounded out to first base his first time up as he takes strike one from Lackey. Damon has not had much success against John Lackey, just 1 for 12. Scott Williamson scheduled to join Bob Rogers and Dennis Eckersley after the game. Want to hang around for that. One of the newest additions to the Red Sox pitching staff. 1-1 to Damon. Up and away, 2-1. You enjoy your day off? I'm sure you're very busy filling up scorecards and sending out hats now.
Yeah, we've got the hats. A lot of hats out yesterday. They just got in. Matter of fact, Don, I have one for you tonight. I told you that I would give you a hat as soon as it came in. And
that is awesome. Go. Very nice.
It's adjustable. You can.
My big dome. It is. Got the number Rem Dog and the number 2 on there with
Check out the back. Check this out.
Oh, adjustable.
Yeah, but look at where you adjust it.
Oh, it's got a number 2 on the back of there too. Very nice. And you have the Rem Dog there.
As I told you, as soon as we get him in, I'd have one for you.
Let's stand and break this in right now. It's ready. 3-2 fouled off. So are these on the website right now, or is it something that's coming soon?
No, they're on. They've been. We just got them. People have been ordering for a while, so finally we got the first shipment out yesterday.
Good looking lid. This one gets away. It is ball 4 to Johnny Damon, the first walk of the night, given up by John Lackey. And the Red Sox with a base runner and 2 down. And it brings up Bill Miller, grounded out to first base his first time. Milton Bradley's jumped up into second after Miller grounded out earlier, as we have up to the minute batting average statistics here with Ichiro on top. Miller in the midst of a conversation with Jim Joyce, seems to be lighthearted but continuous.
Joyce must have given that information that Milton Bradley just jumps ahead of him to number 2 in the American League, and that's what they were discussing. So Miller knows now that he has to get a base hit to get back in that second spot.
Hey, Bill, I don't know if you know this, but you're 0 for 1 and you've dropped out of that number 2 spot. Something along those lines. This is inside, and it's 1-1. I'm glad it's adjustable because I have a big dome. So this will fit. Anybody, all sizes fit, right?
Yep. Nice looking lid, though, isn't it?
It is a great looking lid. It comes in blue and tan.
Right. Well, we boxed up yesterday, probably, I'd say, about 300.
Did you design this? Are you taking credit for this design?
There's 4 people that are involved in that.
And one popped up and out of the reach of Eckstein. Tried to time the loop. And it's up and over him into center field. Bill Miller keeps the inning alive.
Now you see with the information from the home plate umpire, Miller comes through with the base hit. Maybe moves back into the second slot in the American League. Breaking ball from Lackey. Miller jams himself a bit, but is able to push that ball right up over the head of Eckstein for the base hit.
And Bill jumps right into that second spot with the base hit. Two on, 2 outs. Nomar Garciaparra grounded out to third his first time. You're going to credit the 4 people behind this hat.
My wife, Kathy O'Rourke, John O'Rourke, and myself. That's it. That's the whole company right there. That's the board of directors. That's the laborers.
It's Remy Incorporated.
That's it. It's a very small group.
1-0 grounded foul outside of third. You need some more employees. So some of these off days you can rest instead of working and doing all the shipping and handling and everything that takes place.
We enjoy the hands-on approach. And by the way, John and I have absolutely no say in anything. It's the wives that...
That doesn't surprise me. Well, the factory is in Weston.
It's in a basement.
1-1 hit high and deep to left center field. Look out in the monster seats. It's gone. A 3-run home run for Nomar Garciaparra. And the Red Sox one swing of the bat back within a run. That's now 5-4.
Garciaparra, who had only been 2 for his last 18. He and Manny both struggled at the tail end of that road trip. But Nomar happy to be back home. The Red Sox back in the ball game. We mentioned that Lackey had been giving up some home runs this season more than a year ago. And the Red Sox get right back in this one on the 3-run home run.
Some adjustments by the Red Sox second time through as Ramirez takes ball 1. Second time through, Lackey's not been able to get the first 3 hitters out. Damon walked, Miller's singled, and now Garciaparra with a 3-run home run. His 19th of the year. And he's ahead 2-0. Lackey trying to stay away from him. And he ahead 3-0. David Ortiz waiting on deck.
Russ Manny generally has the green light on the 3-0 count if he gets a pitch he likes.
Over the last 7 games, he's hitting at just 150. 3 for his last 21 is Manny Ramirez. Waits for the strike. 3-1. Last home run for Ramirez was on July 26th against the Yankees. Takes ball 4 this time. Second walk of the inning and of the outing for John Lackey. And the Red Sox doing most of this damage with 2 outs in the inning.
And it looked like Lackey was going to get out of this inning with the 1 run. Then, of course, the walk to Johnny Damon. A little push base hit by Bill Miller up over the head of Eckstein. And then, of course, the bomb by Garciaparra. It's amazing the confidence the Red Sox offense shows here at home. You know, we've seen it so many times now. It's still obviously very early in this game, but even late in games, you can still see when they're playing at home, they have the feeling like they can come back no matter what the score is.
Well, this Red Sox team is different, certainly this year with the additions of Bill Miller and Kevin Millar. Do you think some of their swings are better suited for Fenway Park? Does that answer some of the questions as to why they've done so well here?
Well, you look at Ortiz. I mean, he's taking great advantage of the left field wall. Certainly, Walker goes the other way. Bill Miller can go the other way. So, yeah, they have a better group of hitters, I think, who take advantage of this ballpark.
Ortiz has been hot over the last 11 games at .306. His 3rd multi-homer game of the season on Sunday at Baltimore with a couple. On the corner for a strike, 1-1. He has 10 home runs in his last 25 games. That's after hitting 4 home runs in his first 55 games. So the power stroke is back for David Ortiz. 1-1 in the air down the right field line towards the corner. That's going to one-hop up into the seats for a ground rule double. Ramirez will be given third on the double by Ortiz, and the Red Sox keep it going here with 2 down in the inning.
Bad changeup that time from Lackey. He left it upstairs, and David Ortiz jumped all over it. Actually, a bad break for the Red Sox, because if the ball doesn't bounce into the stands, they're probably going to have the tying run. There's that high changeup, and Ortiz, the line drive, one hop into the stands. So that'll stop runners at second and third with the 2 outs.
Now that is a judgment call by the umpire, right? I mean, but it almost seems automatic to the point where if it goes in, they always give him third base in that situation.
Now that was going to be bounced over the fence anyway, I believe.
Kevin Millar stands in on the right side, the 9th man to bat of the inning. Slide out to left field his first time up as he takes a strike. 341 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, but 0 for 8 since July 2nd for Millar. He's hitting at just 188 over the last 8 games. Waves at that pitch. They're only able to knock it down, but it's 1-2 now to Millar. Red Sox had no hits coming into this inning as Lackey had retired the first 6 Red Sox that he faced, not allowing a hit over the first 2 innings. But the Red Sox have come up with 4 hits in this inning and now 4 runs. 2-2 to Millar.
Steady diet of curveballs so far to Kevin Millar. Bud Black, the pitching coach, Mike Scioscia.
This next pitch for Lackey will be the 30th of the inning. So 56 overall. Millar hits it high and deep to left field. It is up and it is gone. A 3-run home run for Kevin Millar. And the Red Sox have taken the lead 7-5, just like that.
Whatever mistakes Lackey is making right now, the Red Sox hitters are not missing it. That's a hanging curveball. It was a steady diet of curveballs, and now at bat to Millar. He finally left one up about belt high, and Millar up over the monster seats. So has this game ever turned around in a hurry?
Well, the Red Sox have batted around. Nixon, who led off the inning with a double, bats for the 2nd time in the inning. The inside, and it evens up at 1-1 now to Nixon.
Red Sox once again hitting around. They have seemed to have done that an awful lot this season with this lineup,
especially at home. Line to first, ensnared by Quinlan to end the inning. It is a 7-run bottom of the 3rd for the Red Sox, who lead it 7-5. Sends it deeply.
In the game of life, what if you actually won? Dream a little. Please play responsibly.
Let me bounce this number off you. At Quirk Chevrolet, save up to $10,000 on the longest-lasting, most dependable truck on the road, Chevy Silverado. All this and savings up to 10 grand only from the guy who wants you to wear the gold bow tie. Quirk Chevrolet gets you from 0 to 60 in record time with financing as low as 0% for up to 60 months on Maine's #1 selling truck. Up to $10,000 in savings, down to 0% financing. Think you can get a better deal than Quirk Chevrolet? Then you don't know Jack.
At Mall Side Discount, there are so many tools and tops to choose from, you won't know where to start. Tools for the do-it-yourself or tools for industrial use. Tools for the most demanding jobs, all at Mall Side's deep discount prices. The walls are filled with hand tools and accessories like Black & Decker saw blades, drill bits, and router bits. Mall Side Discount also has the area's best selection of tarps in sizes from 5x7 to 50x100. In Newport, Trailside Discount Outlet on Moosehead Trail next to Subway has the same great selection. For quality tools, tops, and ropes at deep discount prices, Mall Side Discount Outlet in Bangor and Trailside Discount Outlet in Newport.
What's for dinner?
I don't know. What do you want?
I don't know.
Antonio?
Chicken cacciatore. Fantastico, no? And for dessert.
Buy your Megabucks ticket today.
Bellissimo.
Please play responsibly.
At Fenway Park, 7-5. Red Sox on top now. The 9th time the Red Sox have scored 7 or more runs in an inning, and they do it here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. But we head to the 4th, and the 4th inning is brought to you by Kentucky Fried Chicken, where you can get $4 meals every day. Well, the home runs for the Red Sox, Millar and Garciaparra. In the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Red Sox, Boston on top 7-5 as we head to the top of the 4th. And a release on life here for Jeff Suppan, who was dealing with a 5-run deficit when he left the mound in the top of the 3rd. And now has a 2-run lead to work with. The 1-0 is popped up. Millar moves into foul ground, back into fair ground, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So it's time now for the Affleck trivia question. And our question tonight, what 3 1993 Red Sox draft picks are playing in the major leagues today? I'll have the answer for you in the next half inning. Give a little bit of a hint. 2 of them, I believe, are playing in this game tonight. One down. Quinlan struck out swinging his first time. Sends it to right field, pretty deep. Nixon on his horse, back to the track and the wall. That'll one hop up off the wall. And Nixon quickly gathers and fires in, but it is a 1-out double for Quinlan. He struck out his first time up, but his 2nd double of his major league career.
You talk about a guy, Quinlan, who has started his career off facing some tough pitches. His first 4 major league starts were against Barry Zito, Andy Pettit, Roger Clemens, and David Wells.
Welcome to the big league.
Yeah.
Well, he was a guy that had a great season last year for Anaheim at the AAA level. And any other year probably would have been called up at the end of the year, but he was not, and was left off that September situation. Anaheim didn't want to mess up what they had going there from a chemistry standpoint and figured he could wait another year. Well, he was pretty upset about that, and had a little bit of an edge to him coming into spring training this year, and is on the ball club now and doing very well for Anaheim since joining them in his major league career. This one bounces away from Veritek. Quinlan's headed for 3rd. He'll easily attain 3rd base.
Now, once again, quick action in the Red Sox bullpen. It looks like Todd Jones this time has got up to throw for the Red Sox. There's the curveball underneath the glove of Veritek. Gets behind him, and up a base will move Quinlan.
And there's Todd Jones. Earlier it had been Ramiro Mendoza. Listening to Eckstein, 2-1. In the air to right field. Nixon moving back is there to make the catch. Tagging is Quinlan. The throw is not going to be in time, and Anaheim back within a run as the Red Sox lead it now 7-6. The Angels get one back. 2 outs in the inning.
It's exactly what Suppan did not want to have happen here. The Red Sox put those 7 runs to take the lead, and
Right away, the Angels come back to get within 1 run as Eckstein picks up the sacrifice fly, 27th RBI of the season. This has all the makings of a very long night here at Fenway.
Yes, it does. The Angels and their bats have been quiet for the season, but you get the feeling in the second half this is a much different looking Anaheim Angels team, and starting to get healthy. Without Gloss still, but Erstad back in there now for Anaheim, and some guys who had some subpar first halves have had very good second halves.
Now they can raise some havoc out west because obviously they're going to have a lot of games with Oakland and Seattle.
Softly line, and Garcia Parr runs it down on the short lawn and left. Got a good jump and is able to make the catch to retire the side. 7-6 now. Red Sox on top.
Some people don't realize how many nonstop flights Southwest offers, so we created this simple color-coded map to help. Baltimore to L.A. is red. Phoenix to Raleigh-Durham, blue. Chicago to Seattle, yellow. L.A. to Austin, canary yellow. Orlando to Albuquerque, teal. Las Vegas to Houston, aquamarine. Buffalo to Phoenix, beige umber. San Jose to Baltimore, pistachio. Oakland to Chicago, sea green. Albany to Orlando, puce. Tampa to St. Louis, pinkish. New Orleans to San Diego, kinda green.
You are now free to move about the country.
Introducing the new Nissan Murano for your adventures in on-roading.
For extra convenience, extra value, and extra service, stop at Extra Mart.
How would you like to win a new Honda Element? Well, here's your chance. All this month, come into Extra Mart for your chance to win the coolest SUV on the planet, the new 2003 Honda Element. Get in your element at Extra Mart. And while you're here, pick up your favorite Elements drink in the new aluminum bottle. Elements, liquid action.
With over 150 locations throughout New England, be smart. Shop Extra Mart.
Boston Red Sox baseball in Nesson is brought to you by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park. Our producer is Patrick Cavanaugh, director Mike Naracci, associate producer is Greg Petranzio, and our stat man is Paul Carroll as we head here to the last half of the 4th inning. It is 7-6, Red Sox on top. Red Sox have batted around in this game. It is the 26th time the Red Sox have batted around this season. To answer your question from an inning ago, Jerry.
Yeah, I don't know what the record is for a team, but I'll tell you, that's a lot of times that they've batted around this year.
The 0-1 to Walker, sent foul back into our left. Todd down quickly, 0-2. He's grounded out to second base and is only at bat tonight. Walker lifts it down the right field line, back and out of play.
It's interesting, Grady Little had made out the lineup today early and did not post it until Walker came into the clubhouse. He called Todd in to explain to him why he was dropping him in the lineup. That conversation probably lasted about 10 minutes.
What is your sense, if you have one, I'm pretty sure you do, as to the communication level for Grady Little and the players? It seems like it's very good.
Yeah, it is. It is. You know, and anytime there's any kind of a lineup move or obviously a roster move, he certainly talks to all people involved, and you know, he'll constantly call guys into the office. Millar's in there quite often. You know, they'll sit down and just chat for a while. So I mean, he's got a pretty good pulse on you know, what guys are feeling, and he's also respectful of not allowing the media to know of a lineup move before the player does.
1-2 pitch flared into center field. Out goes Kennedy, and he makes the catch with his back to the plate for the out. And then the first one of the inning. Time now for the Affleck trivia question answer. From an inning ago, what 3 1993 Red Sox draft picks are playing in the major leagues today? And 2 of them are in the game tonight. Trot Nixon, Jeff Suppan, and Lou Merlone, now playing with the San Diego Padres, all drafted in the 1993 draft. And that might have been Lou Gorman's last draft, if I'm not mistaken. I think Trot Nixon was his last first-round pick. Veritek Sends it opposite field and deep to left. Anderson looking up, and that's going to scrape the wall. Heading for second is Jason Varitek, and he gets there standing with a one-out double. Boy, he had a frustrating at-bat earlier in which he struck out. This time he doubles.
You can see Lackey shaking his head. I mean, you know, here at Fenway on a night like this, warm, humid, wind blowing to left field, that's an out in most ballparks. But at Fenway, it's going to scrape the wall on the way down for a double. Starting to sprinkle lightly now here at Fenway.
Johnny Damon, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Just to follow up on those draft picks, Nixon was a first-round pick, Suppan was the second pick, and Lou Maloney was a 10th round pick for the Red Sox in 1993.
How's Lou enjoying San Diego? I know he spent some time on the disabled list probably about a month ago.
Yes, I think he's back, though. I'm told he is back on the active roster. This is on the ground to third. Spezio looks the runner back at second and throws across to get Damon, and there's 2 down. Well, this is the 4th inning, and the 4th inning is brought to you by Kentucky Fried Chicken, where you can get $4 meals every day.
Miller.
So 2 down in the inning. Jason Varitek at second. Bill Miller stands in. He's 1 for 2. He singled and scored his last time up. There were also others who were drafted in 1993 by the Red Sox who made it to the big leagues. You may remember Ryan McGuire was a 3rd round pick. Peter Monroe. And Sean DePaula, if I'm not mistaken, is from New Hampshire. The 1-0.
Is that the pitcher for the Cleveland Indians that was with the Cleveland Indians? Yeah.
And Ryan McGuire, I think, was dealt for Will Cordero, I think, was part of that deal. He's bounced around, saw the bulk of his time with the Montreal Expos in the big leagues. This is one hop to second base, nicely snared by Kennedy. Throws out Bill Miller, and the Red Sox are gone. They strand a runner in scoring position, but Boston on top 7-6.
Whatever happened to the house call? The doctor would show up at the front door and treat the patient right there at home. Who does that anymore? Well, SBC does.
Won't be long.
Only our black bag is a yellow laptop. They may not be doctors, but they do make house calls.
The phone?
I have good news.
The customer. That's who we answer to. SBC.
McDonald's new Chicken McNuggets are made with all-white meat and are sprinkled with seasonings created by a fine chef. We like to think of it as poulet mignon at McDonald's. Yes, that McDonald's.
Up to 16 varieties of spring greens, sweet, juicy grape tomatoes, 4 delicious Newman's Own all-natural dressings, 3 amazing new premium salads. Only at one great place, McDonald's. Yeah, that McDonald's.
Fill your glasses for a toast.
Champagne?
Good move. A quality beer drinker doesn't compromise a Samuel Adams lager. Always a good decision.
Back at Fenway as we get ready for the top of the 5th inning. Red Sox on top 7-6. And it's time now for the game summary. This one, a lot of runs. Nomar Garciaparra with his 3-run home run, his 19th home run of the year. Kevin Millar with a shot, his 18th of the season. Kennedy and Spezio each hitting solo home runs. And John Lackey over 4 innings giving up the 7 runs the Red Sox have. Jeff Suppan has been roughed up in his 4 innings tonight, giving up 6 runs as Suppan is back out there for the top of the 5th inning. And Suppan has thrown 85 pitches tonight, 52 for strikes. Tim Salmon, Garrett Anderson, and Scott Spezio to bat in the inning. Looks to be 3, 4, and 5 for Anaheim. guess David Miller was in to talk to Grady Little in between innings in the Red Sox dugout, probably bringing him up to date on the forecast for the evening. And what is expected is it is still lightly raining here at Fenway Park. Salmon doesn't chase, and it's 1-1.
Well, we get a chance tonight. We can show you some video we have of Wally this weekend along with Team 9 in the Hand Mass Challenge. Congratulations to all of those folks. Team 9 finishing that race, raising a lot of money for the Jimmy Fund. 2-day race across Massachusetts.
How did he feel after the race? Was he okay?
He's still sore today. His little legs are tired, stiff, sore, but he made it okay. He needed some medicine after some oxygen.
Oxygen?
Yeah,
they gave Wally oxygen.
Yeah.
3-1 to Salmon.
As he was riding along the way with Stacy Lucchini, I understand that there were quite a few signs along the way for Wally.
Not surprised. In there for a strike to Salmon, and it's a full count.
Of course, in the fake Wally, the stand-in Wally, the stunt Wally was 1-1 on that trip in Baltimore. Lost Saturday, won Sunday.
3-2 in there for strike 3. Fourth strikeout for Jeff Suppan, and he starts off the fifth by striking out Tim Salmon.
Slider this time from Suppan to pick up the strikeout on Salmon. Salmon, as I mentioned, 400 coming into the game against Jeff with 4 home runs, 1 for 2 tonight. Suppan winning that battle.
One away. Garrett Anderson's 0 for 2 tonight. He strike out and a ground out. In the air to right. This will send Nixon back, running full bore to the track of the wall, and it's gone. The third home run of the night for the Anaheim Angels, and this one ties the score at 7. Home run number 25 for Garrett Anderson, and a tough night for Jeff Suppan.
Yeah, Grady Little hoping that he would be able to settle down after getting the lead, but it hasn't been the case. The Angels get a run in the 4th to go within 1 now. Anderson tying the ball game with his 25th home run of the season. Remember, this is the guy that won that home run competition at the All-Star game. Great plate coverage. I mean, that ball was on the outside part of the plate, able to get out there, hook the ball, and put it into the Red Sox bullpen. Todd Jones again throwing in the pen for the Red Sox.
Suppan now facing Spezio, as there's Jones up for the 2nd time out in the Boston pen. Spezio's had good success against Suppan tonight. A solo home run in the 2nd and a single in the 3rd. And he cranks this foul into the Boston dugout. Look out. That'll scatter him down there. Mirabelli appeared to be in the line of fire down there first. This is Spezio. 2-1. What's the name of Spezio's band? Is it the Sand Frogs? Does that sound familiar to you? Yeah, he's got a band. And 2-1 in the air, lofted down the left field line. Backing out of play. 2-2 the count. Yeah, Sand Frog. He sings in a garage band known as Sand Frog. The 2-2 in the air to right center field. This is hit well. Gaiman moving over, though, and he will cover it well shy of the track for the 2nd out of the inning as it dies out there in right center field. And there's 2 down.
Get the Globe's award-winning sports coverage every day. Call 1-800-984-5335 for 50% off home delivery. The Boston Globe, your world unfolding daily.
So 2 down, and it brings up Jeff Devannon. Lined out to center and to left. Last time a sacrifice fly for Devannon. As it scored Garrett Anderson. This one skips away. Side 1-1. Suppan's next pitch will be pitch number 100. 60 strikes tonight from Suppan. Anaheim has touched him for 3 home runs in the game, and there was a 7-5 lead for the Red Sox. It's been erased now. 7-7 here in the top of the 5th inning. A lot of offense tonight, and those starters in there right now. Ball has been thrown out onto the field, and Manny Ramirez will run it down.
Angel bullpen this year has been very, very good. The starters have struggled some, but they've been very solid out of the bullpen.
Well, that was an outstanding bullpen a year ago. Percival and Brendan Donnelly, and that was really the key to their victory. K-Rod winning the World Series. A 2-1 swung on and missed. If you looked at their starters against some of the other starters heading into the playoffs last year, you'd say they had no chance going in as a wild card team. But they ended up winning the whole thing. And largely because of the bullpen. There is Weber. You may remember him, the huffer and puffer before throwing. Very animated pitcher who we may see in this series. The 2-2. This is inside. It's a full count. A long, frustrating night for Jeff Suppan, who certainly wanted to get his second stint off with the Red Sox off on the right foot. That has not been the case tonight. And has had a very, very tough evening. In the air to left field, Ramirez. Is it over towards the corner, sized up, and he makes the catch just shy of the track. Angels are gone, but they have tied the score halfway through this one. We're tied at 7.
Presenting the 245 horsepower all-wheel drive Nissan Murano.